Welcome to therave.com. My name is Donnie. I'm here with Doc of God Forbid.
Hey, man. Thanks for having me.
How's it going? Thanks for doing this with us. How's the tour been so far, Trespass America? You guys are in day 5 of the tour.
It's been great. I mean, it's a big tour. It's a monumental kind of undertaking. I know for Five Finger to kind of move up, this. I don't know if you consider this an arena or not, but we've been doing like arena size venues and
5,000 plus.
Yeah, and it's been really, I'm really happy for them, and also, excited that they were nice enough to bring us along. We got some old friends on the tour, Kill Switch and Trivium and Amur, and some new friends, and Battlecross and Pop Evil. So it's so far it's great. You can get spoiled real easy playing the arenas and the air conditioning and.
Well, you guys have been road dogs since '96, '97, so you guys have done everything: little venues, big venues, everything in between.
Yeah, we've done Ozfest, Mayhem Festival, we've done the big festivals in Europe, and we've done every shithole you can think of, exactly. So,
how did you guys get for? Did Five Finger ask you guys out? Management work together? How did that?
Well,
come to pass?
I mean, from what I gather, it's pretty much it was their call. They went to bat for us to get us on the tour, and they did the same thing. We toured them in 2010.
I was going to ask if you guys had done tours with them,
and that's incredible, man. I mean, that shows how great they really are as people that they be willing, because there's a lot of people we're friends with. But, it doesn't necessarily mean they're going to go to the lengths, to actually put us on a tour. And they went to bat for us, and it's a huge tour, and it's really important for the promotion of our new album and getting out there. So, so it's just a great opportunity.
Yeah, your new album, Equilibrium, just came out this year. Mm-hmm. It's your first new album in 3 years. Can we expect any new influences on it, new styles, anything like that? Or what do we have with the new record?
I'd say it's, there's definitely a trace of even more melody, when it comes to the vocals and kind of some of the songwriting. We have a new guitar player who his style is a little more melodic and it's more guitar solos. It's really energetic. It's diverse. So I think there's definitely a lot of new ground, but nothing too crazy that I think would turn off into our old fans.
Yeah. Since you guys have been a band since 96, 97-ish, how do you keep things moving along? Like, you obviously don't want to sound like your first record, but you want to stray from that to alienate fans. So
we've changed quite a bit. If you go back to our first EP or our first album, it's like, I don't want to say it's a different band, but it almost might as well be. And we've just kind of, you get older, your tastes change. Mm-hmm. The same things that were floating your boat when you're 18 aren't floating your boat when you're 21 or 25 or 30 and so on. So it's important for us to kind of go with that instinct and not just try and rehash.
I always find it interesting for bands that do last a long time, the evolution of the way they sound. Even the Beatles changed, you know what I mean? Like, I love seeing that.
I think there's two ways. Some bands are just, they kind of do one thing and they don't stray too far. AC/DC pretty much does one thing.
Yeah, they got the same riff. Yeah.
Slayer pretty much had, they deviated a little bit, but there's pretty much a Slayer sound.
Yeah.
Motorhead, bands like that. And then there's bands like the Beatles, Metallica, bands who have changed a lot, who have gone through a lot of a metamorphosis. And I kind of fall in kind of the latter case where I'm definitely more into experimentation, trying different things.
Yeah. Well, you guys have been road dogs for so many years. Any advice to new bands on how to stay sane and healthy on the road? What is your guys' way of...
Well, if you want to stay sane and healthy, then you should stay sane and healthy.
Lots of sleep.
Well, what's sleep?
Yeah, exactly. On the road, there's not...
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, especially driving.
Yeah, I mean,
you can sleep on the road, but it's not the same. Like,
I'd say, in terms of sanity, it's... I think Will Smith said something most important things is reading and running. So it's the idea about like keeping your brain and your body exercised.
Yeah.
Kind of. I think it's important sometimes to kind of get away, take a walk. Go to look at a park or something. Sometimes the partying and stuff can kind of take its toll. So a lot of stuff I'm saying right now, it's like, I don't know if I'm necessarily practicing what I'm preaching. But
well, you guys are in only the first week of the tour, too, so you're bright-eyed and stuff like that. Middle of the tour is when it starts, like, dragging.
We were out for another week before this, so we're on week 2 right now.
Yeah.
So we're...
Were you just doing headlining gigs before this? Or?
Yeah. It's like we did like 4, and then we did one last night and another tomorrow, so we're kind of...
Some one-offs in between?
Mm-hmm. Just, help pay the man and keep the gas in the tank.
Right on. You guys have played the rave 10 times since 2001, and actually we're looking back. Your first show was with 6 Feet Under, Candire headlining, and Lamb of God and you, I believe, were in the middle slots. Did you guys know back then that Lamb of God was going to take off like they did back then?
Well, it was one of those things where, you know, we would like have like a good set, you know, and
Yeah.
we had, because we were friends with them
Yeah.
before that, you know, when we played with them when they were Burn the Priest, before we were both signed, and we were, you know, we're just, you know, friendly with each other. We shared a tour bus. We
Yeah.
bonded really, you know, quickly and became great friends.
Yeah.
And, you know, we would have a good set, you know, and we're like, oh, man, that was pretty good. And they would just, they had this thing where it just seemed like every person that came in, like to see 6 Feet Under,
Yeah.
left a Lamb of God fan. Like
Yeah.
they just have that, they had that special thing about their music and the way they engaged, and even the way they looked.
Yeah.
I think was just they're just a special band,
Yeah.
and it's just you know, so it was cool to see their ascendance, you know, and
yeah.
you know we've had, you know, some success too, like, you know, nothing to sneeze at, but they're obviously at you know, at a very high tier
Yeah.
in the metal world, and I'm just proud of those guys. I'm hoping Randy, you know, gets out.
Yeah, I just heard about that. I didn't even know that was going on. That's crazy.
Yeah.
How does that make you feel, like, you know, doing the walls of death and stuff like that? Are you afraid now, like something you could get sued, or that's crazy? Like, what did he do? He pushed someone into the crowd or into the.
That's what it looked like, you
Yeah.
know. I mean, but there was also a security guard kind of pushed him at the same time, and the kid had jumped on the stage a few times, and you know, it seems kind of crazy, and I think it's also, you're dealing with a foreign country,
Yeah.
you know, a foreign country that is not as in close relations. It'll be different if it happened in England or
Yeah.
Germany or a country like that where we're like real tight with them. But you're talking about something that's kind of like Czech Republic,
Czech Republic,
you
yeah.
know, which used to be Yugoslavia.
Yeah, it's
and they split up. Anyway, so you know, so you're talking about Eastern European kind of, you know, and you know, I don't want to speak out of turn, like I don't really know
Yeah.
their situation in terms of the legal system, but it's a shame. It's not.
When you guys tour overseas, I mean, do you ever get worried? Like, are you ever been in spots like, holy cow, it's kind of scary, kind of thing?
No, because I mean that's, you know, I mean look at what happened to Dimebag.
Yeah.
You know how someone could go there, like you can get hurt if someone comes up there and wants to fight you
Yeah.
or stab you or whatever. Maybe they don't even have bad intentions,
Yeah.
you know, but anything can happen. But at the end of the day, the venues really have to, you know, be insured for things like that. They have to protect the artists.
Yeah.
And you know, you can't be liable as an artist. You know, it'd be one thing if he physically like punched a kid in the face or
Yeah.
kicked someone in the head or got into a you know, physical altercation, but he's really trying to protect himself and really doing the job that security should have been doing, and that's not really, you know, it's a shame, it's a tragedy, but at the end of the day, punishing him doesn't solve anything.
No.
You know, it's really just to kind of exercise in bureaucracy and seeing how they can kind of extract, I don't know, some kind of, you know, money or make an example or
whatever
so.
it may be.
But it's unfortunate. I've played with Lamb of God. I filled in with them. You know, I'm close to those guys.
Yeah.
That's really like, you know, extended family. So it's you know, devastating for me. So I'm just worried about Randy, and I hope he's okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, on a lighter note, is there anything you'd like to say to the fans before we get out of here?
Hey, just check out God Forbid's new album, Equilibrium. Follow me on Twitter, DOC4BID, Doc Forbid. And check us out and come out to Trespass, man. It's a kick-ass tour.
You have it here, Doc, God Forbid. We appreciate you taking the time.
Thank you.
Check us out, therave.com, and God Forbid.